get a new phone or a new gadget and we'll play with that all day long. And we'll be frustrated because we don't know how it works. And we'll seek help how to do this and how to do that. Until we master every little technological application of that technology. Then on to the next one. But when it comes to the self-technology of how do I actually work? How am I able to see? Yes, I have a brain. How does that work? How am I able to speak? How was it determined that I would be a male? How was it determined that I would be a female? Was it determined? How does feelings, how come we can't see feelings? We can only feel feelings. How come we can't see the oxygen we breathe? But it's there. Allah told Musa, study what's in yourself and study what's outside yourself. We never take the time out to study ourselves. We study psychology. How does the mind work? Go to school, we get degrees on psychology and psychiatry. Well, we didn't even create anything. How can we know about something we didn't create? See, the message doesn't change because we haven't got the message. We can only go to another level when we get the message. And Allah Almighty sends the message over and over and over again until we get it so we can go to another level. When we go to another level, Allah takes us to another level when we over-understand the message. We have not yet become the message. We still listen to the message. We can repeat the message. But we have not internalized the message because we don't understand the message. And the message is us. It's nonsense to sit in a building and just listen to someone talk to us. When we ourselves are not evolving, no one should ever have to correct us. When we go to a meal and we see a feast, does someone have to feed us? Can you imagine going to a feast and we sit down and somebody have to come and like, okay, let me put this in your mouth. No one has to feed us like that. Because we know the value and so we go after it. Like we know why we're eating. To maintain our physical health. But Allah was telling Musa alayhi salam, you have to study what is in yourself and outside of yourself so that you will know not just from your intellect, not just from your physical being of knowing me, so you may know that I'm in you and yet you don't see me and you know I'm in you. And you see me differently within than you see me outside. And you're able to know that it is me that does everything through you. We wonder why that power, that power that we walk around carrying and we're showing an ugly face in everything we do because we're not connected to that power is such a disgrace to our honor and our presence. It is unbelievable. It is a total disrespect to rely on anything outside of ourselves more than we rely on that that's inside of ourselves. It is blatant disrespect prophets to teach us that if you want everything to be good outside of you, make it good within you. Correct it and know what it is that you clearly seek within you. And Allah Almighty will manifest it outside of you. And that's a given. It is so sad to see sad people. It is sad. And that's east to west and north to south. That's everywhere. You go into church, sad people. Go to mosque, sad people. Go to synagogue, sad people. You go in a club, you people, they're sad, but they have a false sense of happiness through spirits. Through putting synthetics in their system to give an illusion of happiness. That's sad. The message is not going to change. The only reason it keeps coming the way it's keep coming because we have not gotten it yet. It's like we continue to repeat the kindergarten before we can go to the first grade, because if we don't get what we need to get in the kindergarten, we can never understand what's in the first grade and then the second grade and the third grade, because it builds up. Don't you know there are people that have been born in this life like us, born through a woman like us, attacked by the same Satan, also had an ego, also had trials and tribulations, also was raised in bad environments, that are actually controlling current events. That are actually moving from east to west and north to south in a twinkling of an eye. We saw the sign with Asif when he brought Bilqis's throne to Suleiman alayhi salam. We saw signs of it when Musa parted the Red Sea. When Jesus Christ brought people back from the dead and healed them, we saw signs of that power. They didn't have technology. They didn't have no fast cars. They didn't have no planes. They didn't have no boats. But they did everything they needed to do. And even today, people don't know how they even build the pyramids. Alhamdulillah, I was able to see it manifestly. There is no mortar between the pyramid boulders. They're just stacked. They didn't have any cranes. They didn't have the modern technology of being able to lift those boulders up. They didn't have the balancing technology. Because they functioned directly from the connection they had with their Creator, Allah Almighty. Yeah, technology is a blessing, but it also is a curse. It's a blessing only when we know how to utilize it. But it's a curse once we put so much faith in it and we forget about Allah Almighty, now it becomes a curse. I never have to worry about Allah no more. I can get in my car and drive. I don't have to be worrying about the elements. I can get in my car, turn the air on or the heat. I can turn my radio on. I can adjust my seat, just put it in D, and I can just drive. I don't have to worry about the elements. I don't have to be praying that I don't be eaten up by no animals, wild animals. I don't need Allah no more. That's how we think. That's our mentality. And we'll run up in the mosque or synagogue or church. We'll read some Quran, we'll read some hadiths, and we'll beat somebody in the head, and we'll talk about those things we read so that they give us some kind of respect. But we are unhappy. Look at our faces.